Welcome to an episode of Potion Sword Run. This is Original Seed coming at you from my living room. Last night, I got a close-up look of how these Amico Wars actually affects people emotionally. But before we begin, again, do not like this video. I am still wanted for stealing my neighbor's cats. They keep on knocking and I won't let them in. Now, people that have been following my channel know that I like to do a lot of variety on here. I like to do lore, I like to do news, just whatever I feel like doing at that moment in time. It keeps my motivation going, keeps things fresh. I don't have to regurgitate stuff all the time. And about a couple years ago, I dabbled into the retro scene because I was interested in getting back into my roots. So I started meeting a lot of cool YouTubers, throughout my journey. And then I started getting into the Amico because I was interested into a retro console. But it turns out that it's not a retro console. They kind of just, Intellivision Amico and Tellerico kind of just used the retro scene to get on the scene because, like he said in his own words, it's low-hanging fruit. But the console is aimed for families and other people, whatever. But I started actually following the people covering the Amico and got to actually know a few of them, and through them I also started following people who started hating on the Amico, and a lot of them actually have good points, but I was always just looking at it with clear eyes because I was not necessarily interested in the Amico. I was just interested in the retro scene. So I started seeing this division fold around the Amico, and I was interested in the players. Now, some of them are way more interesting than others, and some of them I follow, and I comment on their channels once in a while whenever I have the chance because I'm a busy fellow. On the haters, I really don't, just because, unless they have a good point, I might, but I mostly just watch just to see what their point of view is, and sometimes I do agree because the Amico has done so many things wrong, and it's okay to point them out. Now, where I draw the line is when you get personal and start attacking families. Like, I don't play that shit. But I understand it. If you're gonna put your family members on your YouTube channel, expect people to talk about them. Because you're putting stuff online to be exposed, to be criticized. That's what these videos are about. Interaction. Now, it may not be the interaction that you were looking for, but these Amico Wars are real. There's a clear division, and they're gonna use all the fuel they can to make their point, to get a laugh, to get a click. Because after all, that's what these videos are about. That's why we put them up, so that people can click on them. And if they can make their videos more sensational, they're gonna do it. Now, last night, I got a close-up look of how people actually get hurt. Now, I usually don't jump into the streams that much. I'll watch for a while because I'm doing stuff and I'll put it in the background. And there's quite a few of them that I watch. I watch Shaggy Melon sometimes. She goes on rants. I like him, whatever. I watch Retro Bro sometimes, but not really too long, But I did happen to catch one last night, and I actually caught it almost from the beginning, and the reason why I stayed was because they had JT Smash on there, and I wanted to see what he wanted to say. He was in a bathtub. What a weirdo. But, it is what it is. And there was a girl on there named Raya. I guess she is not a YouTuber. She doesn't make YouTube videos, but she's in the YouTube scene. She's a moderator, and she does help out another guy, Max, on his channel. And what they do, I guess, is interview people from both sides of the Amico Wars, or at least the haters, on the hater side. And what happened last night was kind of fighting in between the Amico crowd. Now, she actually brought up good points because she's new to the scene, maybe about, a year in or a little less. And she don't know all the bad blood between all the different players. And about a couple years ago when I jumped into it, I had to do a little bit of research before I actually started interacting with these people or actually talking about the Amico, because not only did I want to know about the Amico, but I wanted to know about the YouTubers and players behind it. and I wanted to know their history. So I watched, I stalked, I was one of them, just trying to see what was going on. That's when I didn't have a job and I had time. And I found it interesting. Some of these people are weird, and the haters are right to point them out. But then some of the haters guys are weird too. Like there's some Christian guy who doesn't seem so Christian, but that's a story for another video. I'm not even gonna touch that. It's like I don't even, like that's something I do not follow because there's clearly like issues. But then there's other people who just are funny people who talk shit on the internet, and those are the ones that I follow, the haters. There's a clear division though. But last night, towards the end of this stream, even though she brought up good points and everybody was being cordial, and sure there were like one point, for example, that she brought up was that Intellivision Amico needs an actual PR person, a team where they can have all the facts because the facts are always changing. And the thing is, the Intellivision Amico crowd, they acknowledge that that's a good idea because the facts have changed from when it first was announced to now. And it's gonna keep on changing because the world is changing and we just don't know what's going on out there. But the thing is, when normal people are trying to look up this stuff and all they get is all these hate videos because those rise to the top, then they get confused. And yeah, you can go to the website, but the website's not really up to date. So what they actually need is a PR person to keep all their stories in line, to keep all the information up to date, so that an individual, whoever's looking for this information, can find it, instead of having to rely on haters, or instead of having to rely on old news. And then this won't cause people who are up to date with the news to be upset whenever new people come into the scene and ask these questions. They're not readily available. She put out this point, everybody agreed. But then, in the end, when everything started getting tired because the stream was going on so long, just because it was actually a good stream, even inside the freaking comment section was lit. We had DJC going off with some guy named Tony. Now, Tony is a guy that I have not come across. If you guys know who he is, drop me a link. Apparently, this guy is on another level of hating. Maybe I did come across and I thought, man, this guy's toxic, let me not subscribe, but I don't know. But DJC jumped onto the stream and he went on an epic rant. And it was great to see him actually fighting back for once. But when they brought in Relic Gamer, now that guy is weird. No matter how you cut it, he's not made for the internet. You don't understand that it's all just a big joke. He takes things personal. And it got personal with him, I guess, because of his niece and someone made fun of her. I don't know, I didn't get into that because I don't get into that kind of stuff. And I guess Raya and Max have been interviewing this guy. And I'm not quite sure if it's Tony or somebody else, like Darius Truxton. That guy is funny as shit, even though he gets personal and you should just cut that shit out. But I digress, you do you. It got personal to the point where the stream ended badly. Now, I wouldn't show it. I mean, it's not up live anymore. And I wouldn't show it either way because Raya was such a ray of sunshine on that stream. She actually brought out good points and good questions. But in the end, Relic Gamer came at her and pretty much, made her cry. And it was awful from then on. And it just seems like Relic Gamer is just not made for the internet, and he just doesn't understand it, and he's actually like making you draw lines. People like him are the ones who cause division in the retro scene, especially when it comes around the Intellivision Amico. Now, he came to my channel once when I first made my first Amico video talking about if it's a scam, because I didn't really quite know what it was, and that's when I was actually getting into and investigating it. And he just seemed, he left a paragraph and shit, trying to defend whatever I was talking about. But I mean, other than that, he's just weird, like a weird person. I went to his channel, it's like, okay, weird stuff, but I don't know, it's like even fighting in between them now. And it just goes to show that people have taken this too personal. They're too close to the project. And when you're too close to the project, you give people ammunition to hurt you. And man, I just realized last night that these people, like some of them are good-willed, like are actually just trying to understand other people, and that's why they interview them. But the other ones are saying there's no room for them in the conversation because they get too personal. And the thing is, they do, but this is the internet, and you give them that ammo. So, I guess, what do you do when you follow channels on both sides? When you agree with things that both sides say? And they're kind of forcing you to jump on one side and only hear that side and accept everything that comes from that side. What happens is that you dig in deeper and deeper, and the war just continues. It's kind of like the World War I. You just get into your little trenches and you keep on fighting. And then once in a while, some good news comes out, like Christmas, and you celebrate together. But then again, you need those clicks, so you keep on fighting and fighting. And then you have boomers who don't understand the internet, who make people cry because they want to understand other people's point of views. Don't give them the ammunition, and they won't have shit to fire at you. Me? I ain't got shit to hide. Like I said, it's just me and my cats. We're renegades, man. Renegades. Damn these wars. Now that's gonna do it for this episode. Remember, when shit hits the fan, run.